perfect human is not a human being without flaws. A perfect human has learned to mitigate the flaws by turning to Allah and for forgiveness. And believing that Allah is Al-Ghafur, that He can forgive. If you're in doubt about that, you're going to be walking around with a great big load of guilt on yourself all the time, right? If you don't believe Allah forgives sins, you just a man with, I don't know what I'm going to do. And my friend and I, we have a term we use to describe this man. It was introduced into Christian thinking by a man named John Calvin. Make you think that you are inherently evil. You cannot ever get over your evil. That your evil just pile up and pile up and pile up, and you're just a worthless thing. Yes, John Calvin. We got a lot of those walking around. They made a mistake. They looked at the sister, you know. Oh, I looked at the sister. Oh my goodness. And his wife beat him down, and he's all messed up now. Can't get over it. Can't be productive anymore. Can't lift his head in the house. What kind of existence is that? All you have to do is turn to Allah and stand up like a man. No, you are guilty of shirk because you do not believe that Allah can forgive. Allah said that even if your sin is as big as the earth, He can forgive you. And all kinds of opportunities for you to resolve the issue. This is Islamic teaching. This is what makes men out of people who have been pushed down. This is what makes women of people who have been oppressed. They stand up in their dignity that Allah created them in. That's why you think you're going to whip me with going to prison? You hit me with the wrong thing, man. You can forget that. Because not only was I innocent of the charge, but even if there was some degree of guilt, do you think that 7 years in prison, 7 years in the federal prisons, not no 1 year or 6 months or 2 years, 7, that I wouldn't meet myself, my true self, and ask my true self, what are you doing? What did God create you for? What were you associated with this group for? What did this man who was leader of this community spend so much time nurturing you for? Even if there was no guilt or no culpability on my part going to prison, do you think I still didn't have the requirement to meet myself, my true self, and to reconcile this? So when I came out, I was the man that Allah wanted me to be for this time. Those of you who knew me before say, well, we knew him as Imam W. Deen Mohammed, national representative. But this man sitting before you now is not the same man. I told one of our brothers here to tell one of our leaders that I have great respect for, to tell him that I am now the man that was expected. And many of you had in your heart, I know, you saw me back then, you say, well, we know that this thing has to continue, and we're looking around for the one that the Imam seems to be trusting. It must be him, but oh, he disappointed us. He went to prison. No, Allah took me away from you so as to strengthen me for the purpose and show me the demons and the worst of the situation, so that when I saw it again, it wouldn't intimidate me. So that's what you got before you now. Do I look like I'm faking it? Praise be to Allah.